The perfect neighborhood, Cedar Pines was known as the cleanest, safest, and most organized suburb in the entire state. Every lawn was perfectly trimmed, mailboxes painted the same shade of forest green, and not a single barking dog or loud party had ever disturbed the peace. The community owed its perfection to Mr. Alton Graves, a man in his late 60s who had served as HOA president for 15 years. No one could recall a time when he wasn't in charge. Always dressed in neatly pressed slacks, polished shoes, and a brown cardigan, Graves was more than just a neighborhood figure. He was its architect, enforcer, and silent protector. People respected him, and feared him a little too. A quiet death, and the letters that followed it started with an ambulance. On a quiet Tuesday morning, a 911 call came from Graves' home. When paramedics arrived, he was already gone. Heart failure. No one saw it coming. The board announced it as natural causes. 3 days later, something strange happened. Every single household in Cedar Pines found a cream-colored envelope. In their mailbox, no stamps, no delivery mark. Just one word in ink across the front, for you. Inside was a handwritten letter, personalized for each resident. It began, "If you are reading this, I have passed. But before you crown another ruler, you deserve to know the truth about the kingdom you've lived in all these years." The rest of the letter was far from generic. It mentioned specific details, private arguments between couples, children, sneaking out at night, even one man's affair that no one else knew about. Then it ended with this chilling line: "This neighborhood was never meant to be free. You were part of something much larger. Now that I'm gone, it will come undone." Secrets behind the shaddoom on the residence was Noah Bell, a data analyst in his late 30s who recently moved to Cedar Pines with his wife and baby daughter. Disturbed by the letter, he began investigating. That's when he remembered a weird, locked shed at the edge of the community garden. It wasn't on any HOA property map, but inside, he discovered a hidden room, shielded behind insulation panels, and what lay there made his blood run cold. 15 years worth of surveillance footage. Every home, every street, every face. Time-stamped, categorized, and labeled there. Were folders marked with family names, containing printed emails, recordings of phone calls, and reports like Resident 01 for failed to greet neighbors for the third day. Note: increased isolation. Resident 067's dog barked 4.7 minutes above allowed range. No warning issued. Observing reaction. Noah realized they were all being watched. And more horrifying, they had been studied. The behavioral experiment hidden among the documents was a binder labeled Cedar Pines, Social Conditioning Simulation Phase. It explained that Mr. Graves had once worked as a civilian contractor for a shadowed research institute testing communal behavioral engineering. The idea: could people be trained, subtly, to conform to an ideal society, without them knowing? HOA rules were not just for order. They were tools to reward conformity and penalize free thinking. Residents who obeyed got quicker permit approvals, neighborhood praise, or even discreet financial incentives. Those who resisted got random HOA fines, mysteriously late mail, or had their complaints lost. But the most shocking thing Noah found was the evaluation ranking for each resident from level 1, compliant, to level 5. Unstable, he was ranked level 3. Observed resistor. The deal that funded it, all digging deeper, Noah uncovered archived emails showing that Graves received funding through a silent federal grant. The project was called Project Perseus, Urban Order via Psychological Containment. Graves had been chosen because he was both meticulous and charismatic. Cedar Pines had been engineered from the ground up. Street names, layouts, even the house colors were chosen to trigger compliance and conformity subconsciously. The entire neighborhood was a living experiment in behavioral science, and the letters, they weren't apologies. They were a final protocol, a way to observe how people react when they finally know. The new president, while the community panicked, a quiet election was held. A new HOA president was chosen, Elise Gardner, a woman in her early 30s, young, confident, polite, yet eerily calm. Some people remembered her growing up in Cedar Pines, but no one knew much. Her campaign slogan was simple: "We must preserve what Mr. Graves built." Her first act, reinstate all of Mr. Graves' HOA rules. Word for word, her second act, upgrade the neighborhood's security system with newer, smarter surveillance, hidden in plain sight. And then, days after taking office, she issued a community-wide announcement. Phase 2 has begun. Let's build a better society together. The final confession later. Noah received one final envelope, hidden in the binder. A letter not from Graves, but from Elise. You are reading this because you were the most curious, the most non-compliant, and the most awake. I was raised here, Mr. Bell. I was born in this simulation, and unlike Graves, I believe we should expand it. You may resist, but know this, the experiment does not end with Cedar Pines, it begins with it. And on the back of the page, scribbled in red ink, your wife has been level 2 since March. Your daughter is level 1.